Talk, baby. This is the show where it's okay to be you. We're talking from Yale to jail and from the church house to the pimp house. Nothing's excluded on Shop Talk. So if you don't have a phone, I suggest you borrow one. Call in and voice your opinion live every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Yeah, that's right, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Don't forget to Shop Talk with your girl, because right here, we keeps it real. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, in the building, we have the lovely Nick, who is my co-host. She's the people's voice. And then we have Roogle, the movie guy, my co-host. Say what's up, Roogle.
Hey.
Roogle trying to do things a little different today, but we're going to make it happen. Today's topic is fall, y'all. So what's up with that? Y'all excited?
Yes.
I'm like, dang, what's going on? Like any other time, y'all be like, hey, today y'all like, wait, hold on, what's going on here? All right, so we got a lot to cover today, and we are going to start with the hot topics. Y'all been watching the news?
I haven't.
I've been watching some news, y'all.
I've been working afternoons, so that kind of killed it.
So that's a no. All right. All right, well, let me start off. All right, I'm definitely going to do that. So, Puffy. Puffy is allegedly, y'all heard the word alleged, allegedly dating Steve Harvey's stepdaughter. But daughter, he adopted her. His wife's daughter, Laura Harvey. How y'all feel about that? She's 21, he's 50.
He know he wrong.
You think he wrong? You don't think people should date, like, how many years should they be, apart?
Speaking from a cougar stance, I done went, listen, 8 years is all I'm going to do. I ain't doing no younger.
You doing 8 years?
Yes.
Okay. What about you, Roogle? What you think?
I think you're free to make that decision, you know what I mean? It is kind of, I wonder how they interact together. Because it just seems like I thought he would have probably went with somebody that may have been more experienced in the world.
More experience?
Yeah, she's 21, he's 50, and he's done all he's done. Like it seems like I don't look at that as being like a super couple. You know what I mean?
A super couple. Yeah.
I don't see it.
What could they do together?
Like, I mean, they could do. I mean.
We know they could do together. He'll teach her some things.
It's just like when you think about when they would jam people's names together, like what they call it? Like, what was that? Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, whatever they called them or whatever.
What were they? They were like, don't nobody even know her. She like a model or something. Okay, go ahead. Then I'll go tomorrow.
It just doesn't seem like it's something that's probably going to last. Like,
okay.
It's probably.
But he was with that one girl. What was her name? Cassie. Remember she was young. And then they were together for, I think 8 years, 10 years? Don't quote me on that. But he was with her for a while, and him being with her for a while, I'm thinking that he kind of like took her youth, but she left him. And then she ended up with the younger guy, the guy that was her personal trainer. She ended up with him, married, and they were dating for about a year or so. And then after a year, they went on and got married, and she's expecting a child. So I guess he just liked younger people.
I mean, that's cool. His track record is one where it just seems like it may not hold the test of time. So
okay,
what you gonna do about that?
I kind of can see that. What you think? Mm-hmm. That's like a 30-year age difference.
Well, you know what? He's going to be tired, and she's going to be energized. And if she tries to slow down for him, then she's going to become bored. And so somebody's going to have to be patient. And since he's the older person, he's going to have to be patient until she lives through some things that he has already lived through. Because there's stages to life. And that's why that term, ain't no fool like an old fool. Because if you do it out of sync, then it looks foolish at a certain age. So, but she's got a lot of other living to do.
Okay. I can see that. I'm sorry. I can see that. I think that her being 21, she's going to wake up in the morning, like right now it sounds real good. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that it's going to last. I just don't. I just think pretty much like you were saying, that's the last studio audience, pretty much like you were saying, she has a A lot of living to do. She's gonna be excited. It's fun right now.
Right.
And then, like you said, when he get tired, she'll be like, okay, I'm ready to go. What you mean we sitting in the house? What do you mean we're sitting down?
That's right.
Now let's check out with Jenny from the block. Jenny wasn't from the block when they started shooting. When they was at the clubhouse, she was gone with Puffy. She was like, I'm out. Remember that one?
Right.
I was like, she was Jenny from the block at the beginning, and then all of a sudden after that shootout, she was like, I ain't from the block. Let me go back to the suburbs where I came from. This relationship is over. I am not mad at her at all. Wait a minute. Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, there's a brief pause with the
Then you have, who else is it that's going on that's in the Hot Topics? We're going to start with them. Mama June. You remember that?
Yeah. She crazy. She crazy.
Mama June. Why you say she crazy? That's the Honey Boo Boo chick.
Yeah,
Well, she was on drugs, right?
Well, she ended up being on drugs. They ended up seeing her at the gas station. And at the gas station, her and her boyfriend, they was at the gas station. I guess the police pulled them over or something, and they said that they had found some crack at the gas station. I don't know how you find crack at the gas station the way... Well, you know, crack is whack. Ain't nobody doing crack no more.
They're not doing that no more. So,
But,
yeah.
okay, so they could have allegedly found it at the gas station. Anyway, she's supposed to be going to jail facing some felony time with her new boyfriend.
Oh, what'd she do?
terrible.
The crack! The crack. So she was making all that money with Honey Boo Boo, and Honey Boo Boo had went on and moved with her sister.
Oh,
And her sister is taking care of her. I think her sister should probably be like 21 right now. 19 or 21. She's a little older now. So what she's doing is she's living with her. But I just feel so bad for Mama June because I saw her on the Wendy Williams show, and when she was on that show, she had lost a lot of weight and all that other good stuff that went along. Then she got this boyfriend, and she decided, hey, this is the life that I choose to live. So we're gonna just keep praying for Mama June. Let's move on to Khalees. Who is Khalees? Y'all remember Khalees? My
Singer.
milkshake bring all the boys to the yard.
Hey.
And then, like, it's better than yours. Yeah. Anyway, Khalees decided to sell her freaking mansion and go move to a farm.
I did see that.
That's
I'm not even
dope.
mad at her.
Right. Guess what?
That's dope.
You know why she said she wanted to do that? She wanted to do that because she said that she had she wants to grow her own food.
Right.
Yeah.
So with that being said,
Plus, you get those sweet government
taxes,
tax cuts.
tax cuts.
Yeah.
I heard that. Be like, bye, see ya. I ain't even dealing with you.
Yeah.
So that's what she
Well,
chose
where
to do.
was
So
her
you think
mansion
that?
at?
I can't even remember. I didn't even look at it. I just saw where I read a little bit of it, but that wasn't really important to me. What was important to me is the fact that she decided, listen, I can't have the garden that I want. Because, you know, she left music altogether. She was married to Nas. Let me catch you guys up. She was married to Nas. Nas is a cold rapper. And she had her own. She held her own because I'm still stuck with my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
Oh, that
And they're
was my
like,
song.
it's better than yours.
No,
That's
mine
what
was I Hate You Right Now.
Oh,
so
yeah, that
much
was a
right
good
now.
one. That was a good one, too. And then she decided, you know what? I want to cook. So she's more interested in cooking. So, hey, not mad at her. Also, Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen is in the news.
Again.
What's up with him?
And this is usually your part, your segment with the movie guy. But we're going to talk about you. We're going to get to you. What's happening with Charlie Sheen is that he's being sued by his ex-wife for back child support. $450,000.
Which back? Which
ex-wife? The one he has the children with,
Richards.
Denise. Mhm.
Denise Richards is
Yes.
suing him?
So she's suing him, and she said it's kind of bad because their children are a little older, and by their children being older, they're able to see how he's living a lavish lifestyle, but I guess not giving her money. She got money of her own, not negating the fact that he needs to pay child support, but she got money of her own, and she's finally suing. So how you feel about that?
I don't know. When he was going through his whole crisis and everything like that, it seems that he one of the criticisms was his interaction with his daughters, but it didn't seem like he was like financially neglecting them. But if she believes that he needs to pay, then he needs to pay, I guess. You know, I mean, the bottom line is, I guess she feels like she doesn't have the money to do what she needs to do with them. Granted, they're both millionaires in their own respects.
Yeah, they are.
You know, so.
That's what I'm saying. She got her money, but Dancing with the Stars reached out to him.
Them first world problems, right there.
Those first world problems.
Oh, they did reach out to him to dance.
Dancing with the Stars reached out to him to be on Dancing with the Stars. Now,
Okay.
you know, they say, they actually say that when you're on Dancing with the Stars, or they want you to be on Dancing with the Stars, that you pretty much fell off. So he turned it down, and then they offered him his own show. And once they offered him his own show, they're like, oh, okay, well, we're going to offer you your own show. Would you come on? He still said no. Mm-hmm. Much respect for him. Mad respect. What you think?
Well, I mean, he has the ability to do what he wants with his career. And when he was with 2.5 Men, I believe he was making almost like $2 million an episode, if not more than that. So, you know, I mean, he feels like it's with whatever the right direction is for him. I think that's good for him. You know, we also have to remember though, he is he does have HIV, and he's fighting through that as well. So maybe it's just not the time for him to get involved in anything extra if he's focused on himself, which would be important for his ability for, you know, to have a long relationship with his daughters.
Okay. I can respect that.
Yeah.
Because with stress, if that is stress, you know, stress is kind of lower your immune system even more.
Then we don't know how much money they was offering either. At one point, he was the highest paid television actor. You know,
right.
So we don't know what they're trying to pay him.
Oh, okay. All right, Nicole Murphy. Now, remember the scandal that we was talking about with Nicole Murphy and how she had kissed that married man? What's her name? Sean. What's the girl name? LaShawn, the one that played on Waiting to Exhale.
I always want to call her Sunshine.
Sunshine, yeah. What's her real name?
LaShawn, is it? Oh. Let me check it out.
Okay, but besides, until we get to it, her husband, and what she was saying, she was saying it was a family friend, and it wasn't a family friend. She actually confessed on Wendy's show. She had was talking about how she apologized. She did something wrong. She didn't realize that she did anything wrong. Well, let me put it back. She did realize that she did something wrong, and she apologized for it, but it kind of just happened. Mm-hmm. Now, she does have her own thing going on. You know, she says she has a children with Eddie, and also their child. Their child is supposed to be in Coming to America, too. So I'm like, okay. So she was excited about that. I think it's their daughter.
Okay. One
of their younger daughters is going to be in Coming to America, too. So she's excited about that. So how you feel about that?
Well, I think Layla Rashad, she was very strong in the moment about overcoming the issue that had happened between her.
Layla Rashad? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Why did I think her name was like LaShawn? Leela.
Yeah.
Leela. Okay, I'm like, Leela, who? Okay. What?
Yeah, but I just... I mean, I don't really know what the issue is here. I mean, Eddie Murphy is the producer of the movie. Why wouldn't he put his kid in the movie?
Well, that's a good thing because I guess they're not actors.
I mean,
somebody got the gene.
But we don't know what they're doing though in the movie. You know what I mean? They could just be in there for a scene. We don't. I mean, like it's not saying. Is it saying that person's going to be the star of the show? I don't. You know. So.
Well, I don't think they're going to be the star.
Yeah.
They're playing. They're playing his child. That's the role that they're actually playing. So it might be a small role. But hey, she was happy about it. I'm happy about it. I'm glad that her child is actually taking part in it. So yay, and yay. Yeah. Look, I'll always be... I'll always be behind that. Like, yeah. She's proud of her child.
Yeah, I mean, but that's like saying, like... what's her name? Jada Pinkett Smith is super excited because Will and Jaden gonna be in the movie together.
I'm sure she was.
I mean,
what you think? What you think?
I mean, but it's kind of like
I'm sure she was. What's
that
like,
why not?
Happiness?
Like, I mean, it's kind of like, well, why not? You know, I mean, like, why not?
Well, they are a little different because you figure Jaden is an actor and he was groomed. The little girl what's her name? Willow.
Yeah.
Willow. Yeah.
Okay, so she's not really into acting. She kind of got into the music side of it.
But she did act, but just
She
when
she
was
was
younger,
actually in I Am Legend. She started I Am Legend.
I don't remember her being in I Am
because
Legend.
her role was very minute. She was when he was trying to get his family to the helicopter, and her and the mom left in the helicopter, and then it exploded over the city.
So how many minutes did she have?
Just enough to show you had a family. That was it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay. Stars putting their children in movies. It's been done over and over and over.
Well,
and
I
over
have to say,
and over and over again.
not all of them are in there because they have 4 children together.
Yeah.
He has several children, so this is the first one that's actually able to be in a movie. This is the first one that's actually able to be in it.
Okay.
So I'm happy for him. Now with Jaden, he's a great actor, and he had
I
to.
wouldn't go that far.
You wouldn't think the little Jaden is a great actor?
No.
Get out.
No, you may be in a small group of people that believe that.
No, I think he was.
In what?
He pretty good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right, if y'all believe so, then I'll let y'all live that.
You're
dream.
the movie guy, so you know.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just like, I'll let y'all live that dream. I mean, that's all I'm
like,
saying.
you're the movie guy,
Yeah,
so we're gonna go ahead and let that happen.
I mean, that's
The what about? Okay, speaking, we gonna stay on Wendy real quick.
okay.
Rakim, Eric B and Rakim.
Yeah.
Nah, everybody know I like Eric B and Rakim. Why do I like him? Check out my melody. Anyway, that's I like that. Anyway, Rakim is he is named the most influential rapper. Do you agree or disagree? Do you agree or disagree?
That's tough. That's tough.
Who's the greatest rapper of all time?
The greatest rapper of all time?
Mm-hmm.
That is tough.
Why?
I can tell you who it ain't.
Who is it not? How about that? Who is it not?
Anybody who made an album from 2000 on.
Now I'm gonna go with you on that one. I might go with you on that one.
I'm thinking it has to be between Biggie and Pop. I'm sorry.
What? I don't know.
The greatest of all
The greatest
time?
of all time. Between
You gonna
them
say
two.
Biggie and Pop? How about the great controversy of all time? I wouldn't put them as the greatest rappers of all
I would
time.
say they probably headed the biggest movements of all time. Of
movement. Now that's
within the genre. You know what I
Right.
mean? I would say that they're probably like the top. I was gonna say like Cain and Abel. You know what I mean? But that might be a bad reference, or a bad analogy. But I would say like as far as like people getting behind like two movements in the genre, I would definitely say they would have that power. You know,
Okay.
that staying power now.
But they're not the greatest rappers of all time. I'm sorry. I'm gonna disagree. She the voice of the people.
I know a lot of people that would say either of the two. I mean, you have there's so many to choose from though. From
we are all
era.
about the same
right from
age,
that era,
and you gonna go
so
with
many.
Biggie and Tupac.
Yeah,
I like Pac, but of all times, that would be. I would say that I could say that Pac is most influential though. I could say that.
Right.
I would say that. I don't know the Sample King. You know, Biggie. Alright. Yeah.
you ain't like Biggie.
But he a Sample King. Since y'all talking about Puffy.
You kind of West Coast to your heart though. You know.
Yeah, so is my husband, West Coast.
You know, so.
Well, I gotta tell you, some more people were talking and they disagree. Monica Wynn, she says Tupac.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
sis.
Tupac,
I
go
Of
ahead.
all
Biggie or
time,
Tupac?
I don't know. I think putting it in Rakim's hands is not a bad choice. But I'm saying, but I bet you there are people that could probably argue that and say, well, what about people like Melly Mel and all that kind of stuff? What about
Chuck D.
See? There you go.
Chuck D, now
There
you
go.
talking.
There
Now
you
you
go.
talking.
You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? I mean, like if you just look at like what was this song? You're headed for self-destruction,
Right.
Like you might be able to find
EPMD,
some
all of them.
people in
Well,
there.
there would be most influential.
Yeah, I mean, it's a. I think the title is in good hands, but I definitely think that people would debate it. if
Okay.
you give The Rock him. But I definitely think people would debate it.
He said on the Wendy show, he was excited, he was touched, he was explaining to how it was when he found out that he was number one as most influential. He said his children never seen him like teary-eyed or anything like that. So he said he kind of teared up a little bit, soft heart. And he said that he was like, hey, it kind of touched me knowing that my works actually paid off.
Right.
After all that time. And we're talking like way, way back. Most influential from a female's perspective. No, go ahead with your point.
No, go ahead. Because you make this, the way it seems like it's framed is sort of like, it's like one of those Lifetime Achievement Awards.
That's how he felt.
Yeah.
I can say that's how he felt.
Like, okay. So that's I mean, but like I said, it's in good hands with him.
It's in good hands.
Yeah, it is.
Hands. It's safe.
Yeah, it's safe.
Okay, well, what about Ice-T and Ice Cube and them?
I would tell you this. Ice Cube, I got in trouble because this was before when the explicit lyrics would come on the album. This was before it happened, and when he came out with the America's Most Wanted, I had my mom buy it for me. I'm all like 12 or something like that.
Did you?
And she got to hearing it, and if you get it, they're like, "You got any last words?" He's like, "I got some last words."
We know what the last word.
And she was like, "Boy!" And then next thing I know, she came and got my
Tape.
my tape. And she
got-
gave my tape away.
Aw.
Yeah. But I mean, I think what we're talking about here is like Ice Cube. Hey, even Eazy-E said Ice Cube write the rhymes that I say. I mean, he's great. He's good. You know what I mean?
Right. He's a great lyricist.
But I almost got sidetracked because when he said Ice-T and everybody like that, I forgot what I was gonna say. But go ahead. I got caught up in my story.
Go ahead.
Ice-T, I don't know.
Ice-T was good for. I mean, Ice-T was cool. Ice-T, when that Power album came out, it was cool.
But
he did a good thing. He transitioned.
I like it better as an actor.
You know, I think he had a great role early on, and he did well with New Jack City.
Yeah, he did.
He's
a better actor.
Yes.
I wasn't a big fan of Ice-T. He's a better actor.
Ice-T, you can't. Ice-T has some good things.
Yeah, New Jack City, he did that.
I mean,
well, that was movie. So let's stick with the music. The music, you said he had some good stuff going on.
Yeah. Man,
Ice Cube, I'm with you with Ice Cube, though, and I think you're right. I'm like partial to the West Coast a little bit, but they were cold. You talk about, we'll go with New York, LL Cool J.
That's
LL Cool J. I mean,
I would give
that's
LL,
who should get a Lifetime Achievement Award.
I think he did. Didn't he get one for the Grammys?
He need to get it over.
Something.
Yeah, he did get something.
Like he got the Vanguard Award.
That's what he
like
got.
That.
He needs to get like.
So he's been recognized.
And I would say, you have to. Well, even though you give him credit, you had Run DMC.
Yeah.
I'm like, I am forgetting. That's where it like start. Well, you got rappers that like what's their name? Sugar Hill Gang.
Yeah.
You got them that's coming in there, but
Grandmaster Flash and all.
That's who would be most influential for the other rappers. Like, I would think.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you start talking about that sort of thing, and if I look at the award that Rakim got as a Lifetime Achievement Award, then I'm like, yeah, he's much deserving of that. I remember he had a little bit of a rebirth under Aftermath, that was kind of short lived or whatever. But I think that whole thing was kind of short lived. But it's a really fun, debatable conversation. You know what I mean?
All right, real quick.
You should be recognized.
Real quick. Most influential, forget it, best female MC.
Woo.
Real quick.
I'm going to say MC Light.
Okay, so we in agreement. High five, we all in agreement. Yeah. MC Light, yes.
I mean, that would...
They sleeping on her.
I mean, she said, wow, why did I need cappuccino before the coffee craze?
Right.
It was like, what is a cappuccino?
Yeah, like, what is that? We don't know.
What is she talking about? But
Light and then Latifah.
Oh, you think MC Light better than Queen?
Yeah, they're actually running
side by side.
They're side by side.
Okay.
They are side by side.
Okay.
If I had to go lyric for lyric, I'm MC Light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can look at you can look at Salt and Pepper as being really influential, but I don't think they were all that.
They were party.
Lyrics.
They were party.
You know what I
Party.
mean?
Yeah.
So when I think about like most influential, I'm thinking about like best lyrics. You know what I mean? Not like best track that was supported by
Best.
whatever.
Now you got a point.
You know what I mean?
Best track versus best
Yeah.
lyrics.
Mhm.
Shake your thing. That's a throwback.
Yeah.
That's a
Right.
throwback. And
Well, it's a sample too.
sample.
Yeah.
They.
You know,
look,
it's like, I mean,
well, I'm talking about Biggie, huh?
I'm just saying, like a lot of it is. So it's like really, it's easy to have a really good sounding track when everything is a reimagining of an older song that was truly that was successful, and that's what we've seen over the years. You know.
All right. Well, let's move on. Super Bowl. Guess who performing halftime? Now they got who's halftime with the Super Bowl.
Yeah, who is that?
J-Lo and Shakira.
Really?
You interested?
I can't.
And Jay-Z is in charge of entertainment.
Right, isn't that
Yeah.
awesome? They got him in charge of since
Well,
he's a new
then it might be-
NFL partner.
If he's in charge of it, then it might be kind of fire.
But I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I just, hopefully it's a really good game.
I don't
That's
care
all I'm
about
gonna
the
say.
game
Hopefully
unless
it's a
my
really,
team.
because I don't
is
really
there.
see that. I mean, it's like, okay, don't get me wrong. They have their fans. You know, they have their fans and everything like that. But it's, you know,
Are you one?
of who?
Their fans.
Of what? What are you
Music.
talking about?
J-Lo. He crazy. All right, what you think? Are you a fan? Shakira and J-Lo.
I would say
I
would say Shakira more than J-Lo. You know, but personally,
Not
but I'm
really.
just saying like
Look, not
like
really.
like it's kind of like, you know, hey, she's a part owner in the Dolphins and everything like that. Now she gets to do halftime. Okay, what?
Guess who's
I-
not watching halftime?
A lot of people.
Guess who's not watching the Super Bowl unless the Steelers pick it up and get their
Oh
stuff
man, hey,
together? What?
hey, y'all gonna win this week?
Quit
Y'all-
playing.
somebody
You
gonna
better
win.
be
Y'all are
wrong.
Cincinnati.
Let me tell you
Somebody-
something. I have to tell people all the time. Win, lose, or tie, I'm a Steelers fan till I die.
But
Period.
But okay.
Just like
that's
y'all
cool.
do the dog pound,
That's cool.
which they trying to come up out of there.
That's cool. Hey,
But yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I got y'all winning this week.
Okay,
We better
That's
be-
nice.
we
We better.
better do
I
something.
got y'all beating Cincinnati.
Come on,
Okay.
Pittsburgh Steelers, if you watching, you better do something.
However, I think I made a mistake on that. But I figure y'all can't lose 4 in a row. But the year y'all lost 5 in a,
you hear that?
but the year y'all lost 5 in a row,
can't-
y'all went to the
that
Super
was
Bowl.
a
We
low
went to the Super
blow.
Bowl. We went to the Super Bowl.
And y'all lost against
So,
Dallas,
I mean,
but y'all went.
There have
So-
been some times where we have not started out great, but came out booming.
The problem,
Bam.
the problem is the design of the season is different though.
Yeah.
If y'all lose a lot of division games, ooh, you might be a little bit in trouble. But there you go.
Shots fired. The games we play. Listen, okay. Now y'all know politics, that's you. But I gotta, this is part of the hot
Okay.
topics. How you feel about Trump done throw Pence up under the bus?
His own vice president, I guess he said, if I got to go, you got to go too.
What's his name? Takashi 69 that's throwing everybody under the bus? Takashi 69 or whatever.
Yeah, I had to
He
look
is
that
like-
up. I see that the other. I was like,
Did you
who's
see
this
that
guy?
meme of
Which
that I
one?
put yesterday
I didn't.
with the president
with
dressed
Trump?
up like
Him? Yeah.
But my cousin's caption is one that made me.
What does it say?
She said 6'9" meet 4'5". I fell
Oh,
out.
that's funny. That's
I fell
funny.
out.
He done threw him under the bus. How you feel about that? I'm gonna check his email. So clearly, remember they were saying that his daughters, what was it? Like he was using his daughter's emails a long time ago, and she was, or was it his son? He was corresponding with the
I think it
Russian
was
guy.
his son.
Yeah, it was his son.
So did he use Pence this time, where he's pretty much like check Pence's correspondence? What's your thoughts?
Well, the thing about that is that what it was also come out in news is that he has a second server for information and that he's been doing like calls and stuff like that. And so this was part of the issue when he was talking about lock up Hillary, because she was using a private server for emails and all that other stuff too.
Signs
what
of
I
a
mean?
guilty person.
So-
when they fingered everybody else.
So I mean, like right now with the inquiry to impeachment,
Uh-huh.
I mean, they're gonna look at everything anyway. So Hey, if Pence did something he shouldn't have did, then maybe have God judge him and have this thing over with. Because when we're talking about the security of our country, let's really look at this. If he's trying to coerce other governments into doing things to looking into American citizens, even if that American citizen did do something wrong, you cannot leverage your power and authority as our president of the United States to say that, okay, y'all looking at this, and then I'll consider that a favor, and then I'll help y'all out when these people are in dire straits fighting a war. You know what I mean? Like, I'll help you out. There's serious issues in Crimea right now, and this is and he wants to leverage aid and support based off of them cooperating with his witch hunt.
Okay.
So yeah, he definitely it needs to be brought to light, and when it's brought to light, they need to be judged. They need to suffer for whatever if they did something wrong against this country. They really do.
Now, how does that work? Now, let's say if Pence is wrong. If Pence is wrong, then he's found guilty.
You said if they were to throw out both the president and the vice president?
Yeah, how does that work?
Then it's the Speaker of the House who would be president. That's a succession.
Oh, okay. See, that's why you here. That's why we got Roogle here. Because I'm like, well, whose turn is it?
Yeah.
But my thing is, why they wait until the election time?
What
when he can ready to be out. They should have did this 2 years ago.
He just did it. They've been calling him out on stuff. They've been calling him out on stuff.
Right.
But it was just like, even with the Mueller report was basically saying like, hey, yeah, there's stuff that he did wrong, but because of his position, you can't prosecute him. You know what I mean? So like now he's just
so since he's president, you're not able to. He's not able to go to trial
for those particular issues that you feel like, because that's what he was saying. But like in the respects to what's been happening, every time he's done something, people have called him out. The problem is that like other people have went to jail. It hasn't been him,
right?
You know what I mean? Other people have got So the more and more that he does, the more and more we're getting to that point that. There's more. I want to say these claims have a stronger precedence than the ones before to actually say you did this. It's your voice on the tape. Somebody was in that meeting from your party, from your government, from your administration, and said enough is enough. You did something that goes against American values.
Okay. So you think he has a chance of getting back in?
Yes. Very much so.
Very okay.
Yeah,
strong chance.
He got a chance. Yeah,
even after all of this.
He did all of that and got in.
He did all that and got in. Now you right on that one.
You know what I mean? Like, and some people say it was because they rather vote for him than vote for Hillary Clinton because of whatever reason they had against her. So maybe the Democratic Party didn't pick the best candidate at the time. That's debatable.
Okay.
And maybe she didn't. Maybe her strategy of getting in the office wasn't the best. She didn't go to Wisconsin. I don't know why you wouldn't, but she didn't. But so there's a lot of things you could say that if this would have happened, if that would have happened, hey. But at the end of the day, is this people going to come out and vote? Yes, they are, because they already did.
Okay.
And
what's your thoughts, Nick?
Even after all the stuff that he promised to his people, and a lot of them now are out of jobs, do you really think that they're still going to vote for him now? Because there's a lot of people that were Trump supporters and that voted for him. Now they're on our side of the spectrum, and they are not happy about that.
I was. This was around the time when he was really doing the heavy tariffs and everything like that, and our farmers were in dire straits. And there was one farmer who said, well, I'm going to trust in his businessman acumen, is how he said it. And this is just a storm that we need to weather. So some people don't they think of it as a circumstance of like, he's doing the fight that we want him to fight, and this is how the outcome should, we might have to go through some dark times, but we'll pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, all of that kind of rhetoric talk, you know what I mean? Not looking at the issue of being bad policy from the beginning. It's a very real possibility he can get reelected if people don't go out and vote.
Okay,
It's very real.
All right.
And then it really
So you wouldn't be
depends on our candidate.
surprised.
No. I mean, because he got in.
I was surprised.
He got in.
I was surprised that he got in.
You know, he got in, and there was a lot of people that were like, when the Bernie Hillary thing came out, then you had people that was writing in Harambe and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you
they
know,
were.
So,
They
mean,
were.
like if people don't show up, then there's a very strong possibility he could be the president again.
Come on,
All
y'all.
right.
We need y'all to get out and vote. Vote. Get this fool out of office. And yes, I did say fool.
You heard her. I didn't say that. Look, the opinions
of the people,
of the opinions of the crew of Shop Talk with Mel is clearly that, and not
of the
Shop
whole
Talk
show.
with Mel. All right, did I say it right? Hey, listen, we gotta go to break. We'll be right back. Let me get me some more tea. All right. Let me catch that real quick. Me, myself, and I. That was the jazz version. All right. How y'all feeling about that?
All right.
I like that.
You like it? Was that laid back, chill?
Nice and laid back.
Put you in the mood. Me, myself, and I focus on that. So what we were talking about before the break was Trump having a strong chance of getting back in.
Yeah, he can get reelected.
Okay.
Because it's just, I mean, like, it. I haven't seen a lot. I mean, because he's talking about I'm delivering my promises.
Okay.
I'm building a border wall. And like, if you heard his press conference earlier this week, it was so funny because before he was like, "We're gonna do one from sea to shining sea." Now it was like, well, we're gonna do. It's gonna be about 400 to 500 miles. But the other territory is rough terrain, so nobody can get past that, and the wall is unclimbable, and all this other stuff, whatever. But the issue is that Mexico isn't paying for it.
Right, that's where it was. It was
see
the shining sea as long as he thought the Mexicans was paying for it.
Right. He's using our defense funds to pay for this wall. So I don't know how that works out or whatever. But I mean, it's just not a viable option. And even people who live in some parts of like Texas, they're like, hey, if you try to build this wall here, you're cutting off water supply and things like that because we get water through the Rio Grande for farms and everything like that. You have farmland, golf courses, people's personal property that can be divided by such a thing.
He's also hurting the trucking industry. My brother just moved to Houston, and he said, the jobs that they were getting as far as the industry, like with the boats coming in with things. Yeah. It's very slow now, and it's really hurting the industry down there. So he's feeling it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's doing too much.
Yeah, because it's some of the issues like will he lose the presidency because of gun control laws? I don't think so.
See, that's where I'm going with it. What you think?
The gun control laws, yeah. If he does, that's one of the reasons.
Okay.
I don't know. I think for his supporters, mm-hmm. they obviously they don't. They're like, hey, we need our guns. Find another way because the viewpoint. If you remember, NRA slogan was like, I think, how did it go? Guns don't kill people. People kill people.
Right.
You know what I mean? That sort of thing. So. I don't know, but I do believe it's a very strong possibility that he could be president if people don't get out and vote.
All right. Well, moving right along. Look, I'm like, all right, moving. Amazon. Now, they're saying that Amazon is the reason that a lot of the storefronts are closing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm. You do?
Yeah. Have you... Amazon is... It's almost scary. My wife had ordered something in the morning and it was delivered by that evening.
What?
Yeah. Like it was like I don't know what she got.
The warehouse had to be close and they had to have a big stock of it. Because usually it takes a couple days.
When it was, she got it that day.
We want our stuff right now.
Yeah, but when you go in there, you start really looking at stuff. I was just talking to one of my conservative friends the other day about this very thing, and it's like you can get everything on there. I was looking at washers and dryers that can be delivered to my home.
By the end of business
without any shipping fee. I don't know.
The shipping fee is free too?
Yeah. Like, for certain things or whatever. But the point was that, like, it's a real game changer. Because the thing that the store gives you is that opportunity to really see it. Like, if you don't know what, like, if you can't envision what 7.5 cubic feet is, then that's why you need a store. You know what I mean? But like now it's kind of like you can get everything from a couch to toothpaste.
Yeah, you can.
I didn't know they had I guess it's almost, I guess so. But here's the issue. Did you know that they were paying $0 in taxes?
Yeah.
That's where the issue was at.
That's how come my boy that I like him for president, but I don't think his chances are good. But Andrew Yang was like, hey, I can fix this whole problem right now. Have Amazon pay taxes. He was like,
and everybody be happy.
Everybody be happy. You know what I mean? He actually wanted to do a piece where he gave a certain, I think it was like $1,000 a month to all U.S. citizens. And other
how come I didn't get it? Did you get it?
No, this is what he wants.
Oh, that's
to
what
do
he wants to do.
President.
But it was something where a few months. What was it? A year ago? Who was it? Was it Trump that gave everybody like $1,000 or something like that, or was to give everybody like $1,000 or something? I
don't know about that.
Or $1,500. Oh, it was the buying the clunker cars back. That's what it was.
Yeah, I know. I know.
That's what it was.
Bush at one time gave a little stimulus. He gave people like between $300 and $600 during his thing.
Not a dime. How come I can't get it?
But I don't think Trump is giving out any incentive to like the general American public.
What about that? The breach, the credit place. Did you
I'm
get
still waiting
your
on my
check?
money.
You should get her check.
I ain't get my check yet, and I'm still waiting on it.
Okay, well, let me know when you keep us informed when you get your money.
Right after I did my paperwork to do that, filled out my little paperwork, then all of a sudden I got a little email, it was on the news where they were saying that they were running out of money and everybody might not receive their funds like they asking people to do free credit report. I'm not doing no credit monitoring with y'all and y'all let my stuff. No, I want my money.
Pay that money.
She want her money.
Exactly. Give me my change. That's
how much
all
was
it is. All I was getting is $125. There were some people, if they had to hire an attorney and it was, more involved, you can get up to $20,000. I was like, I wish I was one of them people.
So what was the criteria to get that?
The criteria for, I didn't do much of anything besides paying, for the credit, like the credit check or whatever. So that's where you got the minimum $125. But if your breach was more involved and you had to hire an attorney and all that, they're paying for your attorney's fees. You have to prove. You have to have paperwork from your attorney and all that proving to get more money. But just like the regular you didn't have to prove that. You just had to,
just say, hey.
Right. Because they got everybody's name and social security number. They know if they sent you a letter that you was breached. So they have to pretty much give you that $125. But if you spent more, you have to prove that you spent more. They need receipts.
All right. Roogle.
Yes.
You already know it is that time. What's happening in the movie world?
The Emmy Awards just ended last week, and I know we're a little bit behind, but that's because of how we film. But anyway, at the Emmys, this is what I won't go through everything. I'll just run down some highlights. Outstanding lead actor in a drama series went to Billy Porter for Pose. I did not see this, but it is on Netflix. But I didn't check it out. But also in that category was Sterling K. Brown for This Is Us. So that was a good thing. Viola Davis always stays nominated. However, she did not win for Best Lead Actress for How to Get Away with Murder. But it's good that she's being recognized. Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy. Bill Hader won that. But in that section, you had Anthony Anderson for Blackish, John Cheadle for Black Monday. And I really was hoping that Anthony Anderson would have won that. I think he does such a great job on Blackish. And outstanding lead actor in a limited series or movie went to Gerald Jerome.
Gerald or Jerome?
No, his name is
Gerald Jerome.
Yeah.
Oh, well, look at. Let me see. Is he black or white?
He's black.
I He got two first names.
It's JHARREL.
Oh,
and so he
like a Billy Bob kind of twist.
Oh yeah, that's why I was like, wait, is he black or white?
Well, I seen somebody named Derek with a J, I think it was Jarek. Actually, it's a performer, Jared Bishkoff.
But don't Jay, you're supposed to pronounce it like with an H? That's just a Latino?
I guess that's just Latino thing.
But anyway, in this case, this is for When They See Us. That was the documentary about the
How did you like that?
Part 5.
How'd you like that? Or shall I let you go ahead, finish it, then I'll go.
I still haven't. I've seen it. I've seen it come up a lot of times, and I've not watched it. Just because I ain't ready for all that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, I know. I mean, I know what happened. Like it's those are really great movies for people who don't know.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Like
But
Roots.
Roots is a little bit
Do
different.
you watch Roots?
I do.
I don't watch Roots. Never have.
The Roots is different. This is an actual this is
same
an
reason that you
adaptation from a real life event. You know, I mean, we know that it's the movie. What's important about this movie is that it's come out at a time where people are bringing light to the fact that people are being judged wrong
and lied on
and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, like, it's great for what it is, and I support it in that case. But I didn't personally watch it just because I just wasn't in the right. No.
Okay, so you don't think Roots is real life events?
I'm not saying they're not real life events. I'm just saying, like, they're a story developed by Alex Haley.
Got you. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Slavery happened. Yeah, people were really cruel and mean to people. Yes, all that stuff happened, but
Rosewood, I watched that the other day, and the other night,
Yeah.
I had a whole attitude. So, and
see, that's why I won't watch Roots. I'm like, and then they play it around Christmas.
Why would you do that to you? And it's
But
around the holiday.
I love that movie though. But
Yeah,
every time I watch it, I get a whole attitude and be ready to just.
I don't want to be mad, so I think is that why you won't watch?
yeah.
Is that why you won't watch When They See Us?
Yeah, I will watch it eventually. Right now is not the time for me to watch it.
Okay.
But I'm glad it's made.
Okay, go ahead.
She said that it makes her angry every time she sees it. So when you know what triggers you to be angry, why do you expose yourself to it? You gotta let some happiness come in your life at some point or another. It's enough negativity just going on daily, than for you to just go dig out some old stuff that you know that's gonna make you angry. You
Be like, I feel like being mad today. Let me watch this. Okay, hold on.
Watch what you feed your
Go ahead.
brain. You gotta watch that, Nick.
I know.
Okay.
It actually just happened to come on TV, and I was sitting there watching it. Because, like I said, I love the movie, but I need to quit because every time I watch it, I get mad. I'm like, that, because that's just, it's senseless. And the thing is, it's things like that are still actually going on undercover. But every time we bring light to it, then you have the others, well, that was a long time ago. Why are you still bringing that up? Get over it. You can never, ever get over anything like that. Ever in life.
We're the only people that's asked to get over our tragedies.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm getting at.
That's
it's always that get over factor.
Go ahead, finish your
No,
point.
I mean, like, historically, that's always been like, well, why it hasn't enough time? I'm like, no, like, you have another religion that can celebrate or commemorate all of the terrible things that happen to them, and it's like, no one questions it. Well, they do kind of question it a little bit, but that's, some people, like, they say, like, they don't believe the Holocaust happened or whatever, which is ridiculous. But the point is that, like, they are allowed that opportunity without any question for the most part. But on a daily basis, when injustices happen to us, and we reflect on the pattern of the history that's happened over time, we're always told, well, you didn't move on from that. Well, you didn't move on from it because your practices are the same as they were 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 300 years ago, 400 years ago.
Exactly, and that's the thing. It's certain they're wanting us to get over something that's still happening. It's happening undercover, behind the scenes. There are so many things that we don't know that happen, and then thank God for social media a little bit, because a lot of things that none of us know about because it's never brought to light on the news, people are bringing it and putting it on. Well, did you know about this? You didn't hear about this. So it's still happening. So no, we're never going to get over it until it completely stops and we get some type of more than an apology. You have to have a change. Your behavior has to change. This pattern has to change, or we're never going to get over it. Period. Point blank.
All right, there you go.
All right. Listen to the audience. Okay, let's go with the. Did you want to go ahead? Finish what you got.
Okay, Asante Black and Michael Kenneth Williams were also nominated for supporting actors for When They See Us, the director Avernay, she was also nominated for best writer and director.
Okay,
so that's about rounds it out. Niecy Nash was also nominated, but they didn't win. So it was a lot of nominations for that movie. Like it was a lot of great attention brought to it because of the success with the cast and crew did for that story, or for that life event. I want to call it that, this event. So I mean, like it's being, hopefully the people who everybody needs to see it, but hopefully the people that need to see it. You know, like our young men need to see this. Our young women need to see this.
Which see what?
When they see us.
But you don't want to see it.
I've had enough of my personal when they
personal
see
experience.
me.
When they see you.
When they see me, you know. So I mean, like but the thing is that it needs to be seen.
Okay. Did you see it, Nick? I haven't seen it either. We talked about it, and just out and about, but I haven't seen it either. It's almost because when you have the same thing that's going on and on and on each time, you're just like, okay, here's another story. It's unfortunate. Actually, it's fortunate that they did the movie. Mm-hmm. How do you think they did with this? Oh, you didn't watch any of it. Did you see any parts of it?
Well, no, I didn't watch any of it.
So you can't even tell me how do you, how they portrayed it. But to know that this happens in real life, where you have somebody, I was having a conversation. I'm jumping around, but I was having a conversation. Where was I at? Oh, I know where I was. And this guy, white guy, he was talking to me. He said, how do you feel? He said, I know you work in corrections. He said, how do you feel when you see that a lot of black young men, since their families don't have the finances to get an attorney, they take a plea just to get out of jail because they're afraid. I said, and he asked me, how did I feel about that? Well, I feel horrible about that because now your record is tarnished, even though you know that you didn't do anything, but you accepted a plea just to get out of jail. So most of them accept a plea where they have like the lowest level felony, like that's supposed to be okay for something that they didn't do because they know that their mom, say if they're living in a single family home, their mom don't have the money and she's taking care of the younger sister or brother to get an attorney. It's like, okay, well, we don't have the funds, but I don't want to be in jail.
The problem is that the legal system shouldn't bring justice to people based off of your financial resources.
Well, they say as a U.S. citizen, they appoint you a free attorney.
Yeah, but it's a free attorney with a caseload of how many other cases? Like the issue is that no one should be able to say, well, I paid money to this person. And maybe they're better at their job. Okay, you have that, right? But then there's these things where it's just like, I'm paying just to get out of trouble. You know what I mean? I paid the right person.
Right.
I paid the right attorney. I paid,
because I know I'm guilty. Or some that aren't guilty and no, I don't want a court-appointed attorney because they don't care. They're just there to get a check. Is that how some feel?
Yeah, but
I need to pay for an attorney so they can fight for my rights.
Ultimately, it comes down to the judge to be able to make that clear, balanced, and fair decision. And it shouldn't have to be. It shouldn't. Young men and women shouldn't have to have their lives in jeopardy because of their inability to pay.
Okay.
I mean, why do you?
But it happens.
But why do you have a judge there? That judge is supposed to look at the facts and make a decision. But if you're looking at the facts based off of like, well, this is how his lawyer just interpreted it to me, which is how they do it. Well, your lawyer didn't have a strong enough case for you. Yeah, but you're looking at it. If they do have a weak lawyer, you're still you're supposed to still be the scales of justice, which is should be blind to that and look at the facts of the case for what they are.
That's why it's extremely important to
don't get in trouble.
Elect. Well, but guess what though? And that's not, you don't plan on getting in trouble. And I'm just going to say this. We are all one decision away from being incarcerated.
You're right. We are.
So it's easy. And it's like I might be with one person or you might be with me and you don't know what I'm into. And it's like, hey, give me a ride up here. And I give you a ride. And you're like, wait, and they done pulled us over. You don't know what I'm into. You know what I mean? So we're all just one decision away. So what you are saying is when we elect our judges, we need to be we need to pay attention and not just elect the judges, because ultimately the judge is the one that's making the final decision.
We need to look at that, because there's judges, they hire magistrates, and who are those magistrates they're hiring? How are they ruling on cases and stuff like that? So it's not just when you get in front of that one judge, but it's all the other people that may be under that judge too. So we gotta have more education on how that part of the judicial system works. We need to have people show up and have people make judges be accountable for the decisions that they've made.
Because usually, like with the judge, you're just appointed a judge. You don't get to choose your judge. Wouldn't that be lovely?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Well, yeah. I mean,
where you could just sit there and be like, I would like this judge. They seem fair. So when you elect your judge, make sure you're electing the right judge. I'm not telling you who to vote for, since we have an upcoming election. But what I am saying is,
a judge seat up there.
You know it's a means to my madness. But you have to vote for who, and this is the way that I vote, and I hopefully you guys, you voters, look at things the same way. If I were to stand in front of you, who would I want representing me, as far as like for a judge, and I mean for an attorney, but for a judge? Who would I want to make? Who would I choose to make a life decision for me? Now, if I was wrong, then okay, be fair. I just say be fair across the board, and not just the way that it's presented. Because sometimes you got some raggedy judges. Like I said, you got the court appointed, and they're there just for a check, and they're like, well, I don't know you anyway. And some of them, and I'm saying some of them because I know some of them personally, where they don't really particularly have any invested interest in whoever they're representing. It's like, okay, I passed the bar, I'm an attorney. It's sad that they feel that way. And it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to represent you. I'm tired. All right, hurry up. What are we doing? And an attorney told me, and I don't know why I didn't pay attention to it, because it does say outside court of common pleas. Common pleas. So our goal is to make sure you plea. It's like, why do I have to plea when I'm not guilty? But that's the easy way out.
Yeah.
And you're not spending taxpayers' dollars when you're actually a taxpayer. How you feel about that? And I'm coming to you next, so think about it.
Again, like it's one of those things where I really feel that in this country you shouldn't have to pay somebody X amount of dollars to be represented fairly. And this legal system shouldn't be so convoluted that a person can't defend themselves.
Okay. And your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts are, if this is the field you chose, you need to, and you go to school for it, you need to be in it for the love of it, not for the love of money, because you're playing with people's lives. Because, like, we have so many people that are innocent that
are behind bars.
Behind bars because you just like, okay, well, anyway, and just, that, to me, that's just crazy. And, we do have a watcher who is doing 25 years now, and he said for a bank robbery where no one got hurt, and he gave the money back. He's been in jail since he was 17 or 16.
He gave the money back.
7 burglaries. Yeah, he gave the money back.
7 burglaries?
Yeah, he got 2 strikes when he was 16.
Okay.
For 7 burglaries. So, he's
Did he use a gun?
I'm not sure. Probably. I don't know. But, he didn't offer.
He chiming in. Keep on chiming in. We want to know what's going on.
Cousin, chime in with that one.
Yeah, chime in because we want to know.
We understand that
I'm going to have to get an attorney on the show, and then we have to shop talk to see what's going on and what's really going through the minds, even though they can't answer for everybody. They can only speak for themselves. But I want to know, the people. Joe T, the peoples want to know what's really going on.
Joe Tig lives on.
He lives on. Rest in peace, Joe Teague. He definitely does. We love Joe Teague. All right, what's politics? Let's just go with it.
Oh, I thought we had covered.
We did a little bit. We talked about him implicate or exonerate. Yeah, where you going with Trump? Implicate or exonerate?
Well, right now we got the inquiry going on, so we'll see what happens. I'm waiting to see. The whistleblowers report was 9 pages long, so it was funny because I was watching Trevor Noah do a piece on this, and he said, "Well, this is a report that everybody will read. This is only 9 pages."
Right.
The 400.
The mother man
pages.
Who reading that?
So we just sit back and see what happens.
All right. What else going on? Your girl, Warren, Elizabeth Warren. Mm-hmm. What did she do? She was in the news for, it was something. I can't even think right now. My mind is clogged. It's on the Shop Talk page because I end up reading it and posted it, and I can't remember right at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
But that's your girl.
This is who I would like to see be president.
Go ahead. I would like to see
Bernie Sanders be president.
Still.
Like if I had my choice of people, it would be Bernie Sanders, and then I like Andrew Yang.
Who? Oh, you did say that with the $1,000
I said that
to everybody?
a long time ago. Yeah, but even before he said the $1,000 thing, he said, "Hey, tax these places. Have these people be taxed. And that's a bold move for any politician to say, I'm taking on billionaires and say, pay your fair share and pay it now."
Wow.
He didn't straddle the fence on that one.
So that's who you going with, Yang. Who you going with? Anybody?
Bernie.
We already know he been with Bernie from way before. The Burn, you like the Burn too?
I like the Burn.
Okay, now you got the answer. He responded. What did he say?
Yes, he said, "Excuse me, a Caucasian young boy, the same crime as him, and he only got 3 years."
Why is that?
The same. He
same
robbed
crime,
7 people.
burglar.
Same crime, and only got 3 years.
Well,
but yet we are still told to get over it.
Mm-hmm.
So we still have where the judicial system is not equal for both sides.
It's not.
Is it like black laws and white laws?
It seems like it, even though they say it's just one. No, it's not just one law. It's black and white. I'm sorry. Things are still black and white. In 2019, things are still black and white.
Wow. I'm just like I'm saddened behind this.
And it's funny because I'm coming from a black and white family. My great grandfather is white, but it's still my great grandfather's white, and he could still be alive, and I could still be sitting next to him. But they're still going to judge me on the color of my skin versus the color it is, even though that is my blood grandfather, great grandfather. So yeah, black and white.
You got different. You got the wrong complexion. That's what happened?
Basically.
All right. Well, I was trying to see. Go ahead.
So what else is going on in the movie world is that Joaquin Phoenix is starring in a movie called The Joker. And it has gotten a lot of critical acclaim. And it will be released in October. I think October either 6th or 10th. But I will be going to see that movie when it comes out. This is a standalone DC movie based off with the Joker in play there. So it's been really getting a lot of positive attention. One thing was that came away from it that may not be positive, but Regal Theaters, they had put out a sort of PSA saying that no movie should cause anyone to do violence, and they were pretty much.
That's it for the movies.
Well, what the thing they're trying to say is that, like, this movie, it is sort of, it has the Joker as he's the lead, he's an antagonist, protagonist, sort of tied into it, and it's like, well, what may come about from this movie are things that you should go and put into action, or something to that effect. So. It's interesting because it's a bad guy. The Joker is probably the worst of all comic book villains, and that's not. And people could debate it, but not really. I'll go toe to toe with somebody on like, show me someone who's worse. Show me someone who's worse who doesn't have superpowers, and they can't.
Well,
I mean, probably Lex Luthor.
That would make for a boring. Look, that would make for a boring movie world. Think about it.
Well, what they're saying is that you, as the audience, don't go and incite violence after seeing a movie.
Well, no, you don't. You don't want people to actually,
basically
be violent after a movie. But that's like,
remember this. This is how they did us. It would be one of our movies come out, like let's say the last one where it was this issue. Straight Outta Compton. They'd be like, I don't know if it's the right time for Straight Outta Compton to come out because
I remember that.
It ain't never the right time for us. Ever. Never, ever has it been. This is the right time where there's no racist things happening, where there's no injustices happening. That doesn't exist for us, So but what happened at the theater? You see police officers at the theater when the movie's releasing and stuff like that. When they would never be there if it's another movie. Like when you go and see a midnight showing the Star Wars when it releases, you don't see like police officers and all that stuff there, and all.
But you're right, straight out of Compton, it was packed with cops.
Yeah. So I mean, for what? And then the thing, the best thing about Straight Outta Compton was not even the movie. It was when I went to go see it. It was the audience. It was diverse, a very diverse audience. Older Caucasian people, young, all kinds of people were in this movie. And from the beginning to the end, you heard there was no cell phones, there was no any of that stuff. People just watched it. Well, I'd take that back. There was somebody I wanted to hit in the head with a can of baked beans, but
a whole can
of baked beans,
not a box of baked beans,
a whole can of baked beans with the label off, so I can really get a good grip on the can.
Oh my God!
Just a really good grip.
Hilarious.
But I mean, they've been taking what they call precautionary actions, but as you can see, those precautionary actions. Well, we'll see. Like if they have police officers at their theaters, like they did for black releases for things that did not incite violence at all.
Okay.
And the other big thing is that Marvel and Sony Pictures, y'all, they reached a deal on another Spider-Man movie. Because this was a huge issue. People were like, Disney said, hey, why don't we change this deal? Sony owns the right to Spider-Man. So they were given, Disney had a deal with them where Disney got a little bit of money from it or whatever. Let's say 10% or whatever
Disney
it was.
getting all the money.
And so Disney came back, was like, hey, we need to split this 50-50. And Sony was like, I'm out. And so now they reached a deal. I don't know the terms of that deal, but there you have it. There will be another Disney-Sony collaboration for Spider-Man.
Okay. All right, look at you. See, I got Marvel heads in the building.
I'm still mad at them for killing off my boy Iron Man.
Check this out. And this is not... Okay, there's a Black Widow movie coming out.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's supposed to be in that Black Widow movie because it has to be a pre-second snap movie. It had to be a pre-death because she's dead. He died after her, but she's having a movie. So supposedly he's supposed to be in that.
But that's the
It ain't
pre.
the same.
I'm talking, but it's not the same.
You want him to champion the universe forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
All right, I want to tell you about your girl Elizabeth Warren.
Uh-huh.
So with her campaign, which this is just me. She is going after let me see, how should I put this? I'm going to put it just the way that it is. She wants taxpayers to pay for gender transgender assignments. Reassignments. There you go. The taxpayers. How do you feel about that for reassignment surgeries, transgender reassignment surgeries? Let's keep it 100. This shop talk.
What do you mean she means pay for it?
Pay the taxpayers, like as far as like regular medical insurance. She wants that included.
She wants it covered by there.
Yes.
But okay, because her thing is she wants a universal. She wants universal Medicare for everyone. I believe that's her stance. So
now that's fine.
But what are you saying though?
I'm saying just
the taxpayers.
She wants the taxpayer to pay for gender reassignment. So,
but
like,
under that plan,
a boob. Let's say a boob reassignment. Okay, let's say well, I need a breast reduction.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Is that going to be covered up under it?
I want a J-Lo booty. Is the taxpayers going to pay for me to get one?
J-Lo, she got nice booty.
I want a J-Lo booty. Can the taxpayers help me pay for my surgery?
Her reassignment. So
enough
you gonna
to
take
the-
something from the top, and put on bottom?
Listen, I got enough right here in the front to put it in the back.
I think the issue is like
That's crazy.
What's the definition of cosmetic surgery here?
See,
and that's
he just love Elizabeth Warren.
I'm not saying I love her, but I'm just saying like I think you gotta look at this as like, okay, what's considered cosmetic, and then what's considered
That would be considered cosmetic. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, it's
well,
still cosmetic
people will
surgery.
argue that you are very wrong.
Well,
about
let's
that.
do it.
People would say that like that helps that person become who they are. You know, like if you had a and I'm not making this.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not making this comparison. I'm just making a comparison.
Got you. Go
Okay,
ahead.
and so this is okay. Like if you have what's that thing that sometimes kids get some was it cleft palate or whatever?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and like those surgeries would be covered because I think it's actually
Okay,
something-
because they're born that way.
yeah, but it's actually something wrong there because I
So
think it's like a
so I
hole
see
in
the
mouth and all
argument.
that
I see the
stuff or
argument to say that they were born that way. Okay.
So I mean, so some people may look at that reassignment surgery as making their life more complete.
Now, if it was a hermaphrodite, then I would say, okay, yes, they were born with both sexes, both organs. So
Yeah.
yes, let the insurance pay for that. But like,
So what if a person can prove like there's conditions where people have like two X's or two Y chromosomes or whatever like that. And what if they could prove that and say, well, because it may not be
Okay.
a physical outward showing of it, but they can show that or whatever. Should that? I just think like the issue becomes, okay, if you do that, then let me go get my eye surgery for free. You know what I mean? I mean,
Okay.
so I mean, that's a real thing. I would like to live a life without glasses.
we can't get our booties.
We can't get our food.
I'm just saying. What
I
I'm saying is like, I think there's a line. You have to define what the line is as far as like an elective surgery
So you don't
based
think
off
that's
of
elective?
like pure. I want to enhance something versus like I need this for mental stability.
That might be mental stability if you got a pancake butt.
Or
Listen, if you got a pancake butt, you might have some emotional distress,
Yeah.
some, depression and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
But on the good-
that ain't stopped you.
That ain't stopped me.
It ain't
You know.
stopped
3
us.
husbands later, that showed
Look, I heard that.
Okay.
I heard that.
So yeah, I just think there's a line.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving. This ain't work. Keep it moving. We gonna talk.
Yeah.
We get ready to get to
There's
that.
a line that you have to define of what's cosmetic and then what's medically necessary for someone's health and well-being.
Okay, health and well-being. Health
Mental
and well-being.
health,
not
and mental,
happiness.
Okay.
Well, the happiness goes with
Happiness
your mental,
goes with health.
but your not your mental health, but your health. Cleft palate versus reassignment surgery. Reassignment surgery, I love you, but you on your own. Cleft palate, you can't go out too many health issues that you can get because of that.
And like I said, it may not be a good analogy. It's like, you know what I mean? But off the spur of the moment, I'm just saying
for the
like,
sake of conversation.
yeah, I'm just saying like you gotta
Get off the cuff.
yeah, off the cuff it just came up. But you gotta figure out the argument here is what's cosmetic and what's medically necessary.
To me, that is not medically necessary. That is somebody.
But
That's something that you want to do because there are plenty of. You can't call it transgender because transgender is
when they had a reassignment.
But there
Well,
are
you can be
plenty
post-op and
of
pre-op person though.
gay males that are happily dressing as a woman and going on with their little life. They have their little boyfriends, and they are not worried about doing the search. So, they're happy the way they are. Period. They don't have to have everything. So yeah, it's just.
I just think you're going down a slippery slope because
She's sliding.
because like it's like to me it's my thing is that I'm saying here is based on all surgeries. If you're going to consider this, then people are going to say, what are we looking at as being cosmetic and something that's medically necessary for that person's health and well-being? And I don't know what that is. I don't even want to go because But all I'm saying is like, one thing I will stand behind is if I wear glasses, I should be able to get the surgery for my eyes.
Okay.
LASIK surgery.
Yeah.
And see, and that's very, very different.
But are you expecting someone or the taxpayers to
Yes,
pay for it?
Pay for it. Taxpayers, yeah.
Well, I tell you what. I just had surgery on both of my eyes. I need a reimbursement from the taxpayers.
Nah.
I had to have cataracts removed for both of them.
That's different. You're supposed to get the covered. Cataracts.
Right, but I still had to come up with, for one eye, $900 and something. I need reimbursement.
Oh yeah, you got some coverage issues.
Well, because I had to have a specialty lens, and no insurance will cover specialty lens. Because the one eye was that bad.
And that's the problem, though, is that like, if it becomes medically necessary, why wouldn't they pay for that? We shouldn't be skimping on people's on procedure. We shouldn't skimp on people on the procedures that people have to undergo because, well, it's a cheaper alternative, but it's not the best alternative.
Right.
We need to have a medical system that deals with giving people the best option. The best option for not for the procedure to be done, but the best option for them to have a procedure done that's going to give them a quality of life as if you never had to have the surgery. That's the argument here. So when are we going to start? And that's the thing. Like, all these other issues are burying the fact. Like, I was talking to one of my conservative friends about this, and we weren't talking about reassignment surgery, but we were just talking about healthcare. And he was like, "Well, what about the people who's doing this and doing that?" I'm like, "Hey, guess what? There's people who abuse the system up and down, and sometimes the very rich do it more often." You know what I mean? So, but the issue is why am I suffering for like 10% of the population, 5 on the top and 5 on the bottom, that's doing the worst when the 90 in the middle needs the assistance? Don't make the argument of why it shouldn't be done because of some people who are corrupt. Make the argument on why it should be done because of the necessity of millions that need this particular service.
Right.
So and that's what I'm looking for. Like, can we get to that point of politics where people are actually talking about solutions for a majority of people, and then we'll fix the problems as we go along. We'll fix things. We'll make things better, more robust, and and make sure they're covered and things like that. But right now, we just got to get something done. And what's happening right now to the American people under this healthcare system that we have, and I'm not throwing shade at Obamacare, because Obamacare was insurance plan. We need health care plan. If you can have the Senate have their own health care, then we need to have what they have. If the military can have their own, we need to have what they have. If you have people,
Canada has free.
But the point what I'm saying is that we have socialized pieces of medicine for like the elderly, the underserved, the people who serve, the elected officials who serve. And so my thing is like, if it can work for those populations, why can't it work for all of us?
Okay.
And it's this time that it happens. And the argument shouldn't be like, well, who pays and who does this? Well, we've been paying for a lot of stuff. We'll figure out a way to pay once we put the system, or we put the system in place, figure out a way to pay. We can pay it for it. It can be done. My thing is like this. I had an argument with some people that said, would you prefer to be taxed 10-15% of your check? I'm like, what's the point? I'd rather be taxed and know I got the freedom to the well-being and the stress-free life of knowing it's covered than to be in a situation where, okay, you ain't taxing me, but I'm in financial despair anyway, financial ruin anyway. I might as well be taxed and not have the ramifications of an emergency health crisis that happens. And be cool for that. I shouldn't lose my house because of that, or a family's child shouldn't go without being educated because of a health issue. So right now they're making us pick and choose. They're putting us against each other when these issues are things that can truly be solved through how do we best look out for all of the American people. We all pay into this system, and it's time we all get something back from it.
Okay. Well, I had to switch out my drink.
Why y'all got shablets? Where my shablets at?
You would you like some?
Yeah, I like some.
Would you like red or white?
Look, I feel like Martin
Give
right
me
now.
red. Give me red.
Get red. The red
I'm
don't
changing
taste
it
that
up.
good.
I don't even care. I'm changing
Look,
it up.
I'm like the red. It's like I'm in a high chair.
Dang, these cats that broke out with some shablets.
Yes, we doing it.
I'm doing that wrong on purpose, folks.
Ah!
It's shabbly.
All right, so you all right with with Elizabeth Ward?
What I'm saying is that it sparks a larger conversation to what do we see as cosmetic, and then what do we see as something that's truly needed for somebody's health and well-being. So the thing that for me, that may be a strong issue, but a stronger issue is like, hey, all y'all people with glasses who want to get y'all glasses fixed, transgender, straight, gay, with all the other letters and all the other people, this is something that, this also includes
an option.
that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I'm saying, sometimes we'll look at that small part and say, I don't agree with that, and then throw out everything. When it's like, that small part may be included there, but it also may open up for a larger part for everyone to be able to get something done as well. And if it's millions upon millions of people who need corrective eye surgery, then let's get that going. And that might be the avenue to getting it done.
To get that vote. Because I'm so nervous with people messing with my eyes. I won't even wear contacts messing with my own eyes.
I can't put in contacts.
Me either.
It's
Really?
hilarious. I spent one time probably about an hour, just because I'm not a quitter. I spent
like an hour.
I spent I'm talking about like an hour and a half, and like a lot of that was on one eye. It took me a long time.
How did you get them out? How long did it take for you to take them
It
out?
didn't take a long time to get them out. It was putting them in was the issue.
I'm just like, something sticking in, you come into my eye. No, thank you.
Yeah,
I don't like that either. That's why you look up.
Yes,
Or look down. But look up.
Yeah, I'm bad at that. Putting
And
them
then roll
lenses.
that. Like once you look up, put it in there, because you don't really flinch when you doing that. Put it in there, roll your eyes around, and boom, there you go.
Or they just
But when
automatically
I first-
just come like a magnet? They just come to your pupil?
Yeah, when you stick them there, sometimes you got to do it a couple times. But once you get used to it, it's like I could do it in my sleep. When I was wearing the clear contacts and everything, I do it in my sleep. But yeah, when I first went from glasses to contacts, yeah, it took me about an hour each eye.
Well, guess who's not doing that? I'm not doing that. Well, I guess we got wine, Moscato. We got wine.
Yeah, but you know what? The red was probably like a semi-dry, and I didn't think you wanted semi-dry.
Yeah.
I was fine with that, but it's okay. It's okay.
No, really, I got that.
Well,
we got you. Listen, we got you on
Well,
Shop
did I
Talk.
get 2 glasses of wine?
Yes, you
y'all?
got 2 glasses. Yes, you
2
do.
glasses for the price
We
of
went
one.
from coffee to wine because look, I'm like,
because it's about that time.
it's about that time. Let's get
It's
going.
fall, y'all.
It's fall,
cheers,
y'all.
cheers. Ain't nobody drinking nothing pumpkin. Y'all good with the pumpkin?
Yeah,
The
You like that pumpkin flavor?
I don't know.
I left from work one day, right? The night before I went out of town a couple weeks ago. Came from work, stopped at the Dunkin' Donuts, and asked for my mocha swirl.
Okay.
I go down the street to the laundromat, go in there, put my clothes in, I'm sitting outside, I take my first sip of coffee, it was like, this is not mocha, this was pumpkin spice. Girlfriend went back up the street 10 minutes, while my clothes was here now, because I'm in Boardman,
Okay.
back all the way up the street to Canfield, through the drive-thru, ma'am, you gave me pumpkin spice, and I don't want that. I said mocha. Oh, I'm sorry. I came back through. She was cracking up.
So tell me, how does that pumpkin spice taste?
It's gross.
Okay, have you ever tried pumpkin anything?
Yeah, I've actually had pumpkin soup before.
Pumpkin who?
Ew.
Soup.
Pumpkin soup, please.
It was all right.
Tell me,
It
how
was
does that
good.
taste?
It,
What's the similarity? Tell me what is it similar to?
The texture, like
Tomato?
Yeah, like if you had tomato soup and it was pureed.
So tell me, did you know it was pumpkin when you tried
Yeah, I
it?
ordered it. I seen it on the menu.
You
I was
up here ordered pumpkin soup.
Yeah, it was on the menu. What do I want to do? Not try it?
Yeah, who's
I'm
gonna do
gonna
that?
not get pumpkin soup.
Yeah,
Come on now.
I'm like, who's going to just order
See,
pumpkin soup?
I'm one of those people where if I see something weirder than usual on the menu, I'm like, I want that because it's probably something that they make fresh.
Well, yeah.
Versus like you be like, I'll get that one thing that is always on the menu, but no one
I
really
will
orders
stick
it.
to that one thing that's always on the menu that I like. I'm not trying nothing. I don't like pumpkins. I don't like nothing pumpkin. I'm not gonna try it.
Well, if you just
I'll
at
try
first,
something new, but pumpkin is not. You tried it. You just said okay, or was it like? So tell me, what were you at an event and that was offered, or did you just do like him and just go and be like, try some pumpkin soup?
Somehow it was on a menu wherever I was. So if I was at an event and it was at some restaurant or something,
then you tried on somebody else's dime.
Options, and I tried it.
Yeah,
you did it on your dime.
I did it on my dime, but I mean,
was it worth it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was okay. It was. I want to say the one I had was. It's been a long time, but I want to say it was spicy for some reason. I think they had a little bit of spice in it.
Pumpkin spice,
but it was not like spice like you make it a pumpkin pie. It was
like nutmeg. It wasn't nutmeg spice.
Not like a liquidy pie.
What I had was kind of it was pureed.
It was savory.
It was kind of like a pureed bean soup. It was spicy.
Yeah. It was. I would say more savory and spice.
Well, bless your heart. If
spice.
those of you in the listening audience, if you're interested, go ahead and try it, and I want to know how it tastes to you.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't doing it.
I mean,
I'll smash on some pumpkin seeds.
Well, there you go.
You ain't fooling with the pumpkin seeds?
When you chew it up, you make some soup. You made some soup in
the
your
salivary gland mixed with the salt, and you got yourself pumpkin soup. So nasty.
Yeah, gross. But it was cool, though. It wasn't like... It was one of those things where, hey, you try it, if you like it or not, and then so if you go somewhere and they're like, hey, we're serving this, you're like, yes.
Are you that person that is, say if you're at a table, let's say you're at the jobs, it's like a job event,
okay,
and everybody's ordering. Do you order what they order?
If
it's
they
something
order
you never had?
something good.
But how do you know?
What do you mean?
If it's something like pumpkin soup,
I'll try that.
I believe you would.
Yeah.
Listen, we had a potluck, and this guy brought turtle soup.
Yeah.
You would try turtle soup.
I would try it, but I'd be like, where you get that turtle from? Was that an endangered turtle? Where do you get that turtle from?
Soup.
I want to know where you got the turtle from.
I don't want that.
Was it a USDA approved turtle? I need to know where you got the turtle.
Now, my thing is, I said, you already know how I am. I said, no, what is that? They said, Ross, that's turtle soup. Then, me, anybody know me, I'm over the top anyway. I'll put a 10 on it. Who brings turtle soup to the job's potluck? Who brings turtle soup? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
I mean, that's one of those things where it's like, that person.
That's the time to try it, though.
But yeah, it's the time to try it. Absolutely. Well,
crock pot full. When it was time to go, crock pot full. I was like, is it green?
It's going to stay on full.
It may or may not be the best time to try it. But it's the best
Do
time.
it at the end of the shift so y'all gotta go home sick.
Well, it's the best time to try it because it's somebody who's making it for you. You don't have to. You just have to
pay
be there
for
and
it.
you try it. But it's also the worst time because you don't know their level of execution. So turtle soup can be amazing, but they may have made it terrible.
Here's the thing. Turtle soup I've never tried, so I don't know if it's good or bad.
That sits on the stove while they cook it.
She got a whole cat.
Yeah,
she got a whole cat. Like potlucks dangerous anyway.
Yeah,
however,
potluck danger, baby.
Right, but here's the thing. Like in my mind, when you say turtle soup, I'm so commercial. Like I just see like little turtles floating around in the soup in my mind.
In your mind,
in my mind, I'm like, and it's gonna be green, huh?
No,
but there was a coworker that tried, and they said, "Oh, turtle soup is amazing." I said, "That's nice. Today will not be the day I try it."
Exactly.
I would have tried, but like I said, you at a potluck, you take it's. The good thing is you don't have to pay for it. The bad thing is that you don't know if they're a good executor of making that particular meal.
Now, that's what everything.
Listen,
but at least if I go to a restaurant and I pay for it and I'm like, this is terrible. You've done this wrong. But if it's someone that says, I want to share this with you.
Okay.
Then, indulge in it, I guess. You at least try it out.
I ain't
Take
trying
a
to
spoonful of medicine.
I was invited to a cookout.
No, it's a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. And speaking of that, guess what else? So we had turtle soup, and somebody brought diabetic cookies to the potluck.
All right.
Okay.
No, a potluck is supposed to be like junk. Who wants healthy food at a potluck?
A person who is a diabetic.
Yeah, they said.
I know, but I didn't want it. And
Me and you both, ma'am.
But see, I think like the great thing about having like, okay, I remember when I had these one coworkers, we have potlucks and all that kind of stuff, and then one day we actually had a BLT day, me and a few people. I was like, I'll buy the bacon, which was,
Okay, so
I
you
wanted to
can
get a
put
certain
whatever
bacon.
you want
Somebody
on.
brought the lettuce and all that kind of stuff or whatever, and we had BLTs.
okay, that's cool. So you can put what you want on it, but don't listen. That was a nice gesture. Bringing some diabetic cookies, oatmeal raisin, my favorite cookie, and they was diabetic cookies. No, you just messed me up. Cause I don't want any. I don't want a diabetic pie. I don't want a diabetic peach cobbler. If I'm gonna taste it, it's all about moderation. That's just me.
And
now for the diabetics, go ahead with your sugar-free stuff. Don't eat no sugar-free if you don't want none. Quit coming with them substitutes.
And the thing that's so funny about what she's saying is, I catered my son's graduation party, and so I did like fried chicken and baked chicken. And I'm thinking I'm making a healthy food option for those who don't want fried. All I had left was baked.
See?
Everybody wanted to fry.
A lot of only have certain people that'll eat baked at any function, but everybody gonna tear their fried chicken up, whether they supposed to have
Probably
it or
because they
not.
don't have it all the time.
And I think that was the issue.
Like,
Is that,
look.
if I'm gonna go out and eat, I'm gonna splurge on what
I shouldn't lose a toe just for one piece of fried chicken in a year.
Lose a toe.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want it. If it's not the real sugar, I don't want it. I'm not using that artificial stuff because our body does not know how to digest it. Why doesn't our body know how to digest it? Because it's foreign. Give me some real stuff. It's all in moderation, and that's just me speaking. Okay? Now, what's your thoughts?
I mean, there's other alternatives.
Listen, don't alternate with me.
You can use what they use, like fruits and vegetables. I mean, fruits.
Listen, my sugars was running 400 and 500, and I was still eating sugar. I didn't care.
Let me see your feet.
Huh?
Let me see
Oh,
your
they
feet.
was good.
Foot check.
They was always checking. Listen, they ashy right now. I ain't doing all that.
I'm like, foot check.
They were good. They were good. All the time.
I can't even see that far. So, long story. Look, probably because I'm eating real sugar. Okay, then. Psh, look at there. Look, talking about that food. Let me see what you got going on here. So, potluck. It's fall. We went with potluck. Tell me, what's a good food for the fall?
For a fall potluck?
Uh-huh.
That I would bring? Well, you know what? Bring a meat and cheese tray.
Meat and cheese tray for a potluck for the fall?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say do that.
Meat and cheese tray.
Yeah. Because I always try to think
fall.
about the plate dynamic.
Okay, what do you mean? How is...
Okay, let's say I was at a place where I brought in a soup or something like that. You got soup bowls. But if you got a potluck, sometimes you don't have...
It's chili time, isn't it?
Yeah, you can do
That's
chili.
what I was going to say, chili.
Chili?
That's what I was going to go with. And just bring the bowls.
Just bring the bowls?
You know you're bringing soup. Bring bowls.
Oh, you have to have the stuff with you. Meaning, like, you want the soup and the bowl. So, if you bring a turtle soup, bring the bowl, too.
No, I'm a minimalist. I'm bringing just
Bring
my
the trash
thing.
bags, too.
I'm bringing just my thing. What do you want me to bring? You want me to bring pop? I'm bringing pop.
No ice?
Cups,
Bring the
I ain't
Glade
no
air
ice.
freshener
I'm
for
bringing
the chili.
pop.
Okay.
And if it's warm pop, then it's warm pop. Enjoy it.
What?
Somebody's got some ice. Somebody's got some ice.
Somebody-
Somebody
Somebody
always
has to
gonna
bring the ice.
But
Somebody
see-
always going to bring the ice.
But you gotta have somebody that's over condiments, ice, and paper products.
Right.
But you should know, like, if you shouldn't know. Let me put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
If you bring the soda or the water, I will hope that you would bring well, you don't want to bring a cooler to work, but I would hope you would bring the ice to accommodate. Now the cups,
Maybe.
Or
I don't know. Because I'm trying to think of all the potlucks I've been to. We had ice. I guess we had ice. It was
Okay.
ice there, I guess. but no one like pre-chilled anything. It was usually like 2 liters or whatever, not like individual cans.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's when you really need to bring the cup. Then the cups that go with it.
No, you'll be like, I'm gonna get you sucker. Can I just get a sip in my hand?
Just a sip.
Just a sip in my hand for 15 cents.
So you bring a 2-liter bottle of pop with no cup.
Until you cup your hand like that real tight.
I keep cups in the trunk for people like you. I keep cups just for people like you.
Well, that didn't even make sense, right?
No, I'm
At
just
all.
saying, like, usually it's somebody over that. That's somebody's thing. Like, if you want to get out of something real quick, like, you ever see that person like, oh, I'll bring the chips. You know, come on. I know that sound.
What's that sound?
Mel's
medical
medical moments.
Hey, today we are, even though it is fall, I don't want you guys to slip and forget about, look at him laughing. See, laughing like that.
Fall, slip and forget.
He is hilarious.
Jesus.
We are going to talk about something that probably isn't good, which you guys probably don't want to hear about, but we're going to talk about strokes. We're drinking like white wine.
Right, yeah.
Red wine is good for strokes. I'm going to give you some risk for having a stroke, okay? Smoking. Being on blood thinners, you got to pay attention. Oral contraceptives, a lot of people don't know that. Increased blood pressure. A lot of our senior citizens are at risk for having a stroke. Atherosclerosis, which is hardening of the arteries. So a lot of fat, like fried chicken and stuff like that we were talking about. Being lazy, not exercising. Yes, that puts you at risk for strokes. Also, family history. Family history, if you have a family history. So you want to pay attention to that and increase weight. Having those fall potlucks. Be careful. I know it's like, wait a minute, that's contraindicated in what you just talked about. Be careful, lovely people. The signs and symptoms of having a stroke: face droop, arm numbness, slurred speech, and time. And when I say time, you want to time and call 911. And the acronym for that is FAST. FAST. Face droop, arm numbness. And usually a lot of people go with the left arm numbness for the MI's myocardial infarction, which is a heart attack, but any arm, okay? Slurred speech and 911. Time is of the essence. So make sure that you guys pay attention to that. Parts of the brain that can be affected. I'm going to actually, too bad y'all can't see us live on TV. Different parts of the stroke, different parts of the brain affect certain parts if you were to have a stroke or if somebody you know to have a stroke. Usually if the left side of the brain is affected, it affects the right side of the body and vice versa. The frontal lobe, we're talking right here. And you'll say, okay, well, they had a stroke, and what's going on? Why is their speech this way? I'm getting ready to tell you what it actually controls. The frontal lobe, your thinking, your speaking, your memory, all that lovely stuff. Like sometimes you'll have a headache, you'll be like, I can't recall. That's the frontal lobe that is affected. Parietal, that is like right here. So when you hit your kids up on the head, boom, boom, or you're patting them too hard, that's the language and touch. And you want to know, well, why he's stuttering? How many times you done hit that child in the head? Boom, go sit down somewhere, okay? Temporal, we're talking here and here. We're talking the hearing, the learning, and the feeling. That's where that is at. Occipital, boom, boom. We're talking about the vision. So if you notice, like say I have a headache, a tension headache or something, usually that's in the back of the head. And with the tension headache, that affects your vision. You're like, oh, I have blurred vision. What's really going on, okay? And the color perception, you're like, oh, what color is that? That's back here. The cerebellum. And you guys, what's that movie? 48 Hours. With Chris Tucker. He'd be like, the medulla oblongata.
Yeah.
That's balance. No, actually, that's the brain stem. That's at the bottom. They say shoot him in the medulla oblongata, and then you'll go ahead. You won't feel nothing, and you'll go ahead and die. That controls breathing, your heart rate, and your temperature. And above that is the cerebellum. That's part of the brain, and that controls balance and coordination. So if you feel off balance, you're like, hey, what's going on if you're drinking too much wine? That's that part right there. And you're like, this tension headache is really affecting certain parts of my brain. What's going on? So, lovely people, all in all, don't be stressed. And you have it for Mel's Medical Moments, all right?
Too many strikes against me on that one.
Well, guess what, honey? I'm going to need you not to be stressed. And listen, Red wine is heart healthy, but not too much of it. Okay, I just want to just put that out there since we changed our drink from coffee at the beginning of the show to wine at the end of the show.
Now, yes.
Transitioning, y'all.
Relaxing, y'all. That's what we are doing. How about that? That's what we do on this show. We relax, we keep it going, and we move on from there. All right, the shop talk question of the week. Got a few. Mm-hmm. The first one. Let me do this one easier. Just do the easier one first. Guy, I'm in a relationship. I really like this girl, but do you think that it'll last? We have different political views. I'm a Democrat, hardcore Democrat, and she's a hardcore Republican. Do you think that relationship will last? Look, I'm sweating like an alcoholic for real.
I think there's a possibility of it lasting because there has to be other ways that they connect. Other than, because obviously their political choosings are in conflict, but they both are politically involved, and that may be the thing that's best.
The driving force?
Yeah.
During dinner?
Hey, you got to talk it out.
During the pumpkin spice soup or the pumpkin soup.
That sounds like a meal that couple would have.
Right.
You know what? Obviously, the political views did not affect them.
This is a new relationship, though. It's a new relationship.
Oh, okay.
He expressed that,
but it still didn't affect them because they're still. You can't let that political issue affect you. That's like, well, financial issue, yeah, that affects it, but political, boy, bye. You like who you like, I like who I like. Let's not talk about it because we're gonna get in an argument. We got other things to focus on. We got financial to focus on. We got our future to focus on. Likes and dislikes. Political should be at the back of it.
Well, that's probably why they say at the workplace, religious and political views, they keep them out of the workplace. Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts?
I'm thinking that I want to say that Kellyanne Conway's husband is like a Democrat, and she's a Republican.
I think you might be right.
Yeah, is an American attorney.
You're researching it to check and see?
Yeah, something like that. I know they have different political views, or maybe just different political views as it relates to Donald Trump. But yeah, I think the issue is that it can survive.
Okay.
When they say hardcore, are they both like donating money, or are they just like? Because some people be like, yeah, I'm hardcore.
She probably donating money. She the Republican. The liberal. She the conservative. The liberal is probably like, nah, I'll see you there with pumpkin chips. Passing out pumpkin candy. Little pumpkin candy.
They're both hardcore, but in order for them to have a healthy relationship, they really need to keep the politics out of their relationship. Talk your politics with your fellow,
of the same party. Okay.
Exactly. Leave that out of your relationship in order to have a good one. Just don't even.
I don't know.
You hardcore.
Yeah, but I just kind of feel like you gotta, like, if it's a part of you, it's a part of you. You shouldn't have to cover that piece up. But I think, like, I have conservative friends that I speak to a lot of times, and they say, well, I may agree, I may not agree. I'm like, that's fine. My issue is that I'm open to the conversation.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So,
are they running for any office? That's the thing. If they're running for
some of the people I know,
then it's probably gonna be hard not to bring that into the relationship. But if they're not running for office, and if they can't have a healthy debate about it, then leave it out of your relationship.
Okay.
But I would think, like, if you were running for office and your significant other was of a different party, it would give you some insight on how you can sway some of those voters.
Okay. But you can't sway your spouse, so what you think?
You ain't got it.
You don't know what to do, huh?
Yeah, but when it comes down to it, is she voting for you? Like for example, like that one, or is he voting for you, or whoever? But is that? There are people who say, hey, I don't really like what's going on with the presidency, but I'm a Republican, but I'm not voting for the president, but I'm supporting other Republicans that I like. That's a real thing that happens, so she may you could probably be with someone who's from the opposite party, but if you truly don't like their political views that much, then you probably wouldn't be with them anyway.
All right. Okay. Now let's move on to the other Sharp Talk question of the week.
All right.
All right. A fiance is upset. I'm just gonna put it in my words. A fiance is upset because his fiance received flowers from her ex-boyfriend.
Was it her birthday?
Okay, let's say it was her birthday.
Was it just because it's Tuesday?
No, it might be some significance to it, but he's upset with her for accepting it.
How did she get them?
Through mail. They were delivered.
So, I mean, delivery has come. I've opened it, and now I see the card is from somebody else. So what you supposed to do?
Right. What is she supposed to do from a male's perspective? What is she supposed to not accept it if she likes it? Talk to me. Tell me.
Part of my thing is that like
I'll give you a solution. Go ahead.
What was that smoking campaign? You got to live above the influence, baby. You got somebody who's truly if they know that she's in a relationship. I mean, then they all obviously.
But what if he doesn't know?
If he doesn't know, then he just sent a gift to somebody that he didn't know.
Okay.
He didn't know that was happening. I had someone reach out to me. From a previous relationship, and they were like, "Oh, you're married now," but the issue they wanted to talk to me about was religion. You know what I mean? So I was still open to having that conversation because it wasn't a conversation about us; it was a conversation about religion, which was something we would discuss at length.
Okay, what do you think? If you receive flowers, you're married. Okay, let's say you're married, and you receive flowers from a ex on, let's say, for your birthday, and your husband has an attitude with you. Why? Help me understand. I want to know from a male's perspective, why is he upset with her?
I know he gonna have an attitude. He gonna have an attitude with me because he thinking something's still going on. But on the plus side,
that's not your fault.
That's not my fault.
That's not your issue.
But like I said, when I answered that question, both of my exes know better.
Okay,
because they ain't got to have to worry about him. They're gonna have to worry about me telling them.
Okay, but. So your exes, but let's go with the Shop Talk question.
Yeah, my husband would get upset with me because most males are going to be I'm not going to say most. I'm not going to go ahead. But a lot of males are going to be upset because their way of thinking is, okay, well, if he's still sending you flowers and he know me and you get ready to get married, you must still have some type of dealing with him.
Okay, wait. Now, what if he doesn't know? What if it's an ex from way back? I didn't get all that information. But what if it's an ex from way back and it's your birthday?
Right. They're still going to have that same thought process.
Beautiful. Butterfly. What is going on with the butterflies? I'm so excited. Go ahead.
They're still going to have that same thought. Well, you must still have some dealing with him. Even if you
But that's not your issue.
Right.
That's his issue. Come on, tell me from a male's perspective. We got a few minutes. We got
I just think like don't let the outside party rain on your parade. If he didn't know, if the guy didn't know, if the guy did know, so what? Your face is in the place. Act accordingly. You know what I mean?
I like it. I'll tell you what my solution is. My solution is if an ex sends me a dozen of roses and you my new one and you got an attitude with it, you send me 2 dozen.
Exactly.
You send me 2 dozen. Wait. Let me get the crowd. Let me get the crowd. Like what happened? If you indeed have a problem, then clearly, but I don't understand why would a male have a problem if even if it wasn't an ex, what if somebody just sends you flowers? They like you so clearly. You ain't bad looking. Somebody else might like you. They might not know about the person.
Yeah, but the issue is if they do know or if they don't know, I don't think it's a thing of like, well.
So she's supposed to throw them away?
Well, no, I ain't saying she got to throw them away.
I'm a church fan.
Hey, my thing is like, and from a personal experience, I was dating this young lady years ago, and went to, it was her birthday.
Okay.
Went to her house. She had the most beautiful 36 long stem white rose accompaniment or whatever you want to call it, assortment. How do you call it? Arrangement.
Okay.
Man, it was beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful, right? Mm-hmm. But guess who she's spending her birthday with?
See, that's what I'm saying.
So it didn't matter to
spend
me.
your money, X.
So I'm like, okay. That's what he came with. And the funny part about it was, I had this like really rinky dink like seasonal bouquet, you know what I mean? But it was like, you sent that, but that kind of stuff don't even matter. And the thing is, if it was an ex and she's currently in a relationship with you, obviously she chose you over that ex for whatever reason.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you like I said, if your face is in the place, chill out. If your face in the place, you must be the ace. Chill out.
Hey, I like it.
I don't know, I'm just making up, but it's just like, because a lot of that stuff, like, it's sometimes gifts is made to cause controversy. You know what I mean? Yeah, because it could be somebody like, well, I want to disrupt their whole thing. Let me send this. Was it FTD? Let me send this FTD over there to disrupt everything.
Okay.
That's a flower delivery service.
Yeah, because somebody ended up commenting on it, and he was like, well, the flowers have to be delivered. I'm saying, no. I mean, signed for it. The flowers have to be signed for it. Dude, you way back when, because no, it don't have to be signed for.
I don't know. I think the issue is if you got it delivered to you, you get them delivered to you. They're in your possession. Now, if you want to choose to throw them out, that's cool. I wouldn't be pressuring to throw them out. I'd be like, let's enjoy these flowers while they last.
Together, right? Let's smell the roses.
And then let's send them back to let's send them the box back with the when they wilt. Send them back to the dude. Like, that must have been how y'all relationship was. It died on the vine, right? It could be sustained, if you want to be like really like grimy with it. But I mean, but the thing I'm thinking about is like, don't let those kind of things have a damper on your relationship, especially if they don't have anything to do with any transgressions that someone may have done. If it's just because you don't know where that other person is coming from.
Insecurity issues.
And I think that those insecurity issues
yeah, you're right.
are from him.
Yeah.
And not for her. And then you want to be with that person.
From the boyfriend that she's with.
Right. That's what I think.
If you upset about it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because the thing is,
those are your own
don't get me wrong.
Issues and jealousy issues.
Yeah.
That only get greater.
Yeah.
That's
right.
That's just the sign that it's there. And so that small thing says, listen, I don't know how long you've been together here, but this is what this says right here.
Yeah. Because you
don't have control over the behaviors of someone else. All you can control is what you do. Yeah. And then you don't want to be reactive, and especially not negatively.
Right. And who wants to be with somebody that don't want somebody else? Like, if I don't want to be with somebody if somebody else don't want them. That's just me.
Well, I think I won't even go that far into who wants who or whatever. But it's like if that person chose you and the thing is real and they being real to you, then it is not an issue. That it's not y'all issue as it is that person who sent the flowers issue.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, some of that is like, let me disrupt what y'all got going on.
Okay. If that's the case, because they probably don't even know. All right, lovely people. Let me do today's footnote. Love is appreciating your differences as well as your similarities. Now, I want you to listen to this sentence that means this. Well, actually, it doesn't mean the same thing, but it says the same thing using the same words. But I love you. ... I love you, but... ... See the difference. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, that is my time. I thoroughly enjoyed you as I do each and every single Saturday. Y'all know what it is. Find you, embrace you. Most importantly, always, always love you. Until next week, people. Shop Talk right here on Spreaker.com.